Hello mga kasipnayan! Welcome to my second video math tutorial. Ako si Sir Jhomz at kung bago ka pa lang sa channel ko, please subscribe now and click the notification bell so you'll be updated for the upcoming videos. Tapusin nyo ang video na to because at the end of the discussion, I will be giving you another matrix that you can use to compute numbers in just snap of a finger. So, ano pang hinihintay natin? Samahan nyo akong maglayag sa sipnayan. Focus, kapit, at walang bibitaw. Tara! Alright, so for today's video, I'm going to discuss piecewise function. Ano nga ba ang piecewise function? Piecewise function is a function in which more than one formula is used to define the output. And each formula has its own domain. And the domain of the function is the union of all these smaller domains. Ano nga bang itsura ng piecewise function? So, ito ang itsura ng piecewise function. F of x equals formula 1 if x is in domain 1, formula 2 if x is in domain 2, formula 3 if x is in domain 3. So basically, a piecewise defined function is a function whose domain is divided into parts and each part is defined by a different function rule. For further understanding about this, let's have an illustrative examples.
Okay, so for our first example, a user is charged 150 pesos monthly for a particular mobile plan, which includes 200 free text messages. Messages more than 200 are charged 1 peso each. Represent the monthly cost for text messaging using the function T of M, where M is the number of messages sent in a month. So let's represent this problem into function using T of M. So ano ba yung T of M na yan? T represent the total monthly cost for text messaging and M is the number of messages sent in a month. So mapapansin natin na sa problem na to or sa example na to, there are two conditions. Sige, tagalogin natin. Yung particular mobile plan user daw ay na-charge ng 150 pesos buwan-buwan kung siya ay gagamit ng 200 free text messages. Pero kung lalampas sa 200 free text messages ang magagamit niya sa loob ng isang buwan, magkakaroon siya ng additional charge na 1 peso sa bawat text message. So, kung ang sinasabi natin dito na yung M is the number of messages sent in a month, so if M is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 200. So, mahalaga na naiintindihan natin yung ganitong rule. Okay? So, ano ba ibig sabihin yan? Na sabi nga natin, yung M is the number of messages sent in a month. So, ito yung number of messages na ginamit o nagamit ni user. So, kung si user ay mag-text siya ng kahit isa lang or higit pa doon pero hindi lalampas sa 200 kasi dapat mas mababa sa 200 or at least 200, ang babayaran ni customer ay 150. So, this is a fixed amount. Fixed yan. So, parang constant function nga yan eh. So, kahit isa, dalawa, or higit pa hanggang sa 200 text messages ang gawin ni customer or ni user, 150 pesos pa rin ang kanyang babayaran. Pero, sabi dito, if M or the number of messages sent in a month is more than or greater than 200, so wala tayong nilagay na equal sign doon kasi ibig sabihin nun, pag nilagay natin ng guhit sa ilalim, equal to 200. So, magko-contradict na siya sa first condition. Kasi sa first condition, hanggang 200. So, ibig sabihin, kasama yung 200, pababa hanggang 1. Pero dito, nilagyan natin dito, greater than 100. Ibig sabihin, yung malaki lang sa 200. So, ano yun? 201, 202, pataas. So, kung ganun ang magiging number of messages na masesend ni user sa isang buwan, so magkakaroon siya ng additional charge na 1 peso sa bawat text. So, therefore, kailangan pa rin niya magbayad ng 150. Kasi yung 150 na yon, that is for the first 200 text messages. Pero magkakaroon siya ng additional charge. So, ano kaya yung ipa-plus natin dito? Ipa-plus natin dito yung 1 peso times dun yung sobra dun sa 200. Kung yung M ay yung total number of messages, so yung M yung babawasan natin ng 200. Okay. So, bakit ba natin binawas si 200? Kasi yung 200 na yon ay bayad na yon ng 150. So, whatever is remaining, pagkatapos i-deduct si 200 doon sa total number of messages, yun na lamang yung imumultiply natin kay 1 peso para maging total additional payment ni user sa kanyang mobile plan. So, ayan ang ating piecewise function. So, if ever si user ay nakapag-send ng messages sa loob ng isang buwan ng sabihin na natin 150 messages, so ang babayaran niya ay 150 pesos pa rin kasi that is less than 200. Kung nakapag-text man siya ng nasa 180, still 150 pa rin ang babayaran niya. Pero kung si user ay nakapag-text o nakapag-send ng messages sa loob ng isang buwan ng 250 messages, so dito siya ito yung magiging condition niya kasi M is greater than 200. Yung 250 is greater than 200. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung kanyang gagamiting formula. So, papalitan lang natin yung M, kung ano yung total number of messages. So, let's say that's 250. Ima-minus si 200. So, 50. 50 times 1, kasi piso nga ang isa. So, 50 pesos plus 150. So, ang magiging kabuang bayarin ni user para sa isang buwan ng paggamit ng 250 text messages is 200 pesos. So, that is the purpose of piecewise function. Hinahati-hati natin yung function, yung condition, para mas madali nating ma-evaluate ang isang problem. So, therefore, this is the piecewise function for this example. Okay? Okay, so for our second example, a certain chocolate bar costs 30 pesos per piece. However, if you buy more than 5 pieces, they will mark down the price to 28 pesos per piece. Use a piecewise function to represent the cost in terms of the number of chocolate bars bought. Okay, in this example, hindi given yung notation ng function. Unlike dun sa previous example natin kanina, example number 1, given yung notation, nakalagay doon T of M. Okay? But in this example, walang nakalagay na notation, so tayo na lang ang magbibigay ng notation. Okay? So, since ang hinahanap nating function dito ay yung function ng cost ng chocolate bars and the number of the chocolate bars. So, let's say C is the total cost. Okay. Let's say C is the total cost of chocolate bars and N is the number of chocolate bars bought. Okay. So, if we assume that C is the total cost of chocolate bars and N is the number of chocolate bars bought at yung function na hinahanap natin, so therefore, ang ating notation ay magiging ganito. C of N. Okay? C of N. Okay, so since there are two conditions in this given problem, so logically, it is a piecewise function. So therefore, gagamit tayo ng ganitong symbol. Okay. Now, before we go further, let me just emphasize this one, na pag nabasa ninyo or na-encounter nyo yung word na per, or kaya yung word na every, or yung each, yung word na yon nag-imply yon ng multiplication. Alright? It implies multiplication. Kasi ang ibig sabihin yan, per peraso. So, therefore, kung merong 3 peraso, or 4 na peraso, i-multiply lang natin yung presyo ng bawat isa doon sa number of pieces. So, ang ibig sabihin yan ay multiplication. So, according to the first condition, ang presyo ng chocolate bar is 30 pesos. So, 30, i-multiply natin yung number of chocolate na binili, so times N, since N is the number of chocolate bars bought. Okay, so 30 times N. Yan yung una nating function. Pero, applicable lamang yan if the number of chocolate bars bought ay hindi lalampas ng 5. Paano natin nasabi yon? Sa first condition, nakalagay lang naman dito, o sa first statement ng problem, nakalagay lang dito, a certain chocolate bar costs 30 pesos per piece. Walang sinabing number of pieces. Pero, dun sa second statement, nag-pertain din sa second condition, sinabi dito, if you buy more than 5 pieces, the price will mark down to 28 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, yung first condition natin na 30 pesos per piece ay hanggang 5 chocolate bars lang yon. Kasi, if you will buy more than that, so the price will mark down to 28 pesos. So, therefore, yung N natin dito, so, this function is applicable if N is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 5. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin yan? Na yung number of chocolate bars bought ay dapat higit sa 0, which is 1, pataas, pero hindi lalampas sa 5 kasi N is less than 5 or equal to 5. So, if the customer bought 1, 2, 3, hanggang 5 pieces of chocolate bars, the price of chocolate bar per piece is 30 pesos. Okay? Now, if N is greater than 5, ano ibig sabihin yan? Kung yung number of chocolate bars daw ay higit sa 5, of course that is 6, 7, and so on and so forth, the price of the chocolate bar per piece is discounted, alright? It will be deducted of 2 pesos. So how much will it be? Magiging 28 pesos na lang daw siya according to the problem. So it will be 28 pesos times N. And there you have it. That is the piecewise function of this example. Okay? So C of N equals 30 times N if N is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 5. And C of N is equal to 28 times N if N is greater than 5. Okay. And so that is our second example. Okay, so for our third example, a tricycle ride costs 25 pesos for the first 2 kilometers, and each additional kilometer adds 5 pesos to the fare. Use a piecewise function to represent the tricycle fare in terms of the distance d in kilometers. Okay, so ang ating notation dito ng function ay f of d. Okay, the function of the fare of a tricycle in terms of the distance d in kilometer. So f stands for the fare of the tricycle and d is the distance in kilometer. So in this given problem, there are only two conditions. Okay, so the first condition, the fare of the tricycle is 25 pesos and that is fixed. Okay, so 25 pesos ang pamasahe for the first 2 kilometers. So therefore, if d is greater than 0 or less than or equal to 2. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, yung layo ng maita-travel ng tricycle, and that's the distance, if it is greater than 0, of course, greater than 0 is 1, okay? And less than or equal to 2, so it could be 2 kilometers or less than that, ang pamasahe ng tricycle ay fixed, 25 pesos pa din. Hindi siya mababago. Okay? However, if the tricycle travels beyond 2 kilometers or mas lampas pa sa 2 kilometers, there will be an additional 5 pesos to the fare per kilometer. So, ang mangyayari, magbabayad pa rin tayo ng 25 pesos for the first 2 kilometers and then magkakaroon tayo ng additional charge. How much per kilometer? 5 pesos. So, saan natin i-multiply yung 5 pesos? Kasi sabi doon, per. Pag sinabing per, that is multiplication. So, ito times natin yan sa difference ng total distance minus 2 kilometers. Okay? So, we have to less the first 2 kilometers kasi yung first 2 kilometers na yon ay binayaran na siya ng 25 pesos. So, whatever is remaining here, yun lang yung i-multiply natin sa 5 pesos. At yun yung idadagdag natin sa 25 para ma-determine natin yung total fare ng tricycle. So, this formula or this equation is applicable only if D is greater than 2. Okay, meaning 3 kilometers, 4, and so on and so forth. So that is the piecewise function for this given problem, for the third example. Okay. Okay, so example number 4. A parking fee at SM Lucena costs 20 pesos for the first 2 hours and an extra 5 pesos for each hour of extension. If you park for more than 12 hours, you instead pay a flat rate of 150 pesos. Represent your parking fee using the function P of T, where T is the number of hours you park in the mall. Okay, so our notation of function here is P of T. Okay. Now, if we will analyze carefully the given example, there are 3 conditions here. So, kung meron tayong 3 conditions, magkakaroon din tayo ng 3 equation or 3 function. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin. Sa first condition, sinabi dito na yung parking fee daw ay 20 pesos for the first 2 hours. So, naka-fix siya sa 20 pesos. Basta, sa loob lamang ng 2 oras. Kahit 30 minutes mo lang yung pinark, or 1 hour, or 1.5 hour, or 2 hours, ang babayaran mo ay 20 pesos. So, ilagay natin dito, 20 pesos. If T is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 2. Okay? So, that's the condition. T is the number of hours na pinark yung sasakyan sa SM. Okay? Now, the second condition is there will be additional 5 pesos for each hour of extension. So, syempre, magbabayad pa rin tayo ng 20 pesos doon dahil nga more than 2 hours yun eh. Again, yung 20 pesos mo, that is for the first 2 hours. Plus, 5 pesos times the difference of total number of hours and the first 2 hours. So, T minus 2. Okay? Again, yung T natin dito, that's the total number of hours na pinark yung sasakyan. Ililess natin yung first 2 hours kasi binayaran na natin yun. That is 20 pesos. So, kung ano yung difference dito, i-multiply natin sa 5 at yun yung idadagdag natin sa 20 pesos. Okay? So, this formula is only applicable if T is greater than 2 and less than or equal to 12. Okay. Saan ang galing yung 12? Bakit may 12 tayo doon? Kasi sa third condition, sinabi doon, if you park for more than 12 hours, you instead pay a flat rate of 150 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, pag more than 12 hours, iba na yung magiging parking fee niya. So, ibig sabihin, yung 12 hours na to, pasok pa siya sa second condition. Okay? So, our third function here is 150. That's flat rate. So, wala na tayong idadagdag. So, yan, 150 ang babayaran if T is greater than 12. Okay? So, meaning, 13 hours, 14 hanggang kahit nabuti pa yung 24 hours, your parking fee is 150 pesos. And there you have it. So this is the piecewise function of this given example. Okay? Okay, so for our last example, example number 5, an internet company charges 700 pesos for the first 30 gigabytes used in a month. Every exceeding gigabyte will then cost 25 pesos. But if the customer reach a total of 50 gigabytes and above, a flat rate of 1,000 pesos will be charged instead. Write a piecewise function C of G that represents the charge according to gigabyte use. Okay, so our notation of the function here is C of G. Okay, now, as you have noticed, there are 3 conditions in this problem or in this example. So, therefore, there will be 3 functions then or equations ang lalabas sa ating piecewise function. Now, isa-isahin natin yung mga conditions na yon. So, the first condition is 700 pesos daw ang babayaran ng customer sa internet company kung makagamit siya ng 30 gigabytes or kahit mas mababa doon. So, therefore, ang babayaran niya dito ay 700 and that is fixed amount or fixed charge. If G, okay, because that is the number of gigabytes used, is greater than or equal 1, okay? If G is greater than or equal 1, but less than or equal to 30 gigabytes, okay? So, if the number of gigabytes used is greater than or equal to 1, or less than or equal to 30, the customer will pay 700 pesos in a month. Anyway, pagdating dito, kung ang gagamitin nyo ay 0, pwede naman yon. Kaya lang, greater than na nga lang ang symbol na gagawin. Hindi siya pwede maging equal. So, greater than 0, so, yun ay 1 pataas. Pero kung 1 naman ang gagamitin nyo na number bilang pang-compare is kailangan may equal. Okay? Kasi pag hindi nyo nilagyan ng equal, greater than lang, so ibig sabihin hindi kasama yung 1 na yun. So, dapat kasama yung 1 na yun hanggang 30. Kaya, ganyan yung symbol natin. Okay? Now, for the second condition, magkakaroon ng additional 25 pesos per gigabyte. Okay? So, therefore, magbabayad pa rin si customer ng 700 pesos, okay, for the first 30 gigabytes. So, plus natin, how much? 25 pesos. Okay? I-multiply natin yan sa difference ng total gigabytes used minus 30 gigabytes. Kasi that's the limitation ng first condition. So, lalagyan natin dito, G minus 30. So, ibig sabihin yan, kung ano man yung total number of gigabytes, let's say 45, pag niles natin yung 30, so merong matitirang 15, yung 15 gigabytes yun, ang imumultiply natin sa 25 pesos. Kasi yung 25 pesos is per gigabyte. Then, yun ang i-add natin sa 700. Okay? Kasi again, yung 700 dito, yun yung bayad natin do sa first 30 gigabytes used. So, this formula will be applicable only if G is greater than 30, okay, but less than 50. Okay, sabi dito, but if the customer reach a total of 50 gigabytes and above, so, hindi kasama yung 50, dapat less than 50 lang. Ibig sabihin ng less than 50, hanggang 49 lang. Okay? Kasi pag umabot ng 50, sinama niyo yung 50, ibig sabihin iba na yung rate na babayaran ni customer. Hindi na siya plus 25 lang per gigabyte. Magiging 1,000 na siya. So kasi ang sabi dito sa third condition, but if the customer reach a total of 50 gigabytes and above, so hindi kasama si 50. So in our second condition, 700 plus 25 times the quantity of G minus 30 would be the formula na pwedeng gamitin if the number of gigabytes is mas malaki sa 30, greater than 30, at mas mababa naman sa 50. So, it could be 49 down to 31 gigabytes. Ito yung formula natin. Okay. For the last condition, it's going to be a flat rate of charge. So, magkano daw? 1,000 pesos ang babayaran. And that's flat rate. Kung ang magiging number of gigabytes used ay 50 and above. So, ito ay if G is greater than 50. Okay? Or equal. So, greater than or equal to 50 kasi kasama yung 50. A total of 50 and above. So, dito, G is greater than or equal to 50. So, from 50 pataas ng number of gigabytes, 1,000 pesos na ang babayaran ni customer. And there you have it. That is the piecewise function of example number 5. Okay.
Okay, so sana natutunan ninyo kung paano gamitin ang piecewise function. And as I have promised earlier, at the end of the discussion, I will be giving you another matrix. So, eto, panoorin ninyo.
Okay, so mga kasipnayan, ang matrix na ituturo ko sa inyo ngayon is how to multiply two-digit numbers ng mabilis lang. Okay? So, katulad nitong nakikita nyo mga example, we have 6 examples here. So, 23 times 27, 34 times 36, 57 times 53, 62 times 68, 44 times 46, and 72 times 78. Okay, so gusto ko lang i-clarify na ang tricks na ito ay applicable lamang sa ganitong kondisyon, kung saan yung first digits nila ay pareho. Okay, so magkakapala sila ng first digit, tapos yung second digit nila dapat pag pinag-add mo or pag pinagsama natin ay 10. So, 7 plus 3 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, 3 plus 7 is 10, 8 and 2 is 10, 6 and 4 is 10, 8 and 2 is also 10. So, dito lamang applicable yung tricks neto. Pero, if ever maka-encounter kayo ng gantong numbers, paano nga ba to i-multiply ng mabilis lang? Okay, so tuturo ko sa inyo yung technique natin dito. Okay, ready? So, ganito lang ang gagawin natin. Let's multiply the last digits. Okay, so 7 times 3, 21. And then, yung number na magkapareho, which is 2. Ano ang kasunod ng 2? 3. So, 2 times 3, 6. So, imumultiply lang natin yung magkaparehong number na yon sa kanyang kasunod na number. So, katulad nito, 2 to. So, ang kasunod nitong number ay 3. So, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. So, number 2. Second example. 6 times 4 is 24. And then, yung magkapareho nating number na 3. Ano ang kasunod ng 3? 4. So, 3 times 4, 12. So, 12. 1 and 2. Okay. So, number 3. 7 times 3 is 21. At ang magkaparehong number nila sa first digit ay 5. At ang kasunod ng 5 ay 6. So, let's multiply 5 and 6. That's 30. Okay. Number 4. So, 8 times 2, 16. At ang magkapareho nating number dito ay 6. Let's just multiply it by 7. So, 42. 4 and 2. Okay. Number 5. 4 times 6 is 24. And 4, ang kasunod ng 4 ay 5. So, let's multiply 4 and 5. That's 20. Okay. And last example is 72 and 78. So, 8 times 2, 16. At ang first digit natin ay 7. So, ang kasunod niyang number ay 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Alright. So, ganun lang kabilis mag-multiply ng 2-digit numbers under this condition. So, let's check kung tama ba yung sagot natin. 23 times 27, 621. Check. 34 times 36, 1,224. Check. 57 times 53, 3,021. Check. 62 times 68, 4,216. Check. 44 times 46 is 2,024. Check. 72 times 78 is 5,616. Check. Okay? So, there you have it. Ganun lang kadali mag-multiply ng 2-digit numbers. Sana may natutunan na naman kayong bago. Thank you, mga kasipnayan.
And there you have it. I hope you learned something. At kung nagustuhan nyo ang video na to, i-like nyo na and share it with your friends. Kung meron din kayong question or mga request topic na gusto nyo ituro, just comment down below. Once again, ako si Sir Jhomz, ang inyong kasipnayan. Thank you for watching and happy learning!